Hi everyone, this is the second part of the data formatting and hygiene video for beginners. Here we take a look at more features related to layout, visibility and structure. Do go through the first part of this video. I have provided the link below. So let's get started.
Learn to add borders in Excel. So here I have some data and you can see that there are no borders. So if I print this, you can see in print preview there are no borders. So where did the lines go? In Excel, the gray lines that you see, they are just guides. They don't print. You need borders for that. You also need borders to properly structure your data. So here we'll see how to put borders. So in order to do that, I'll just select the data on which I want to put borders. Next, I will go to this section, the border section, and you can see there are a lot of options to put various kinds of borders. I'll choose this option, all borders. So it puts a border on the data. Just center this. So this is how you put borders in Excel. So you can see there are various kinds of borders. So I'll select this data. Say if I say no border, it will go back to the earlier look where it had no borders. Now you can put a thick outside border if that's the only thing you want. You can go ahead and format in the way you like using the various options. I can just put a bottom border for the first one, so it will look like an underline. You can do that also. Just play around with the various options available under borders. You can also use shortcuts to add borders. Select the data range and say Alt-H. It will take you to the Home tab, and from there you can use the various initials. So after Alt-H, if you do B, it will take you to the option where you select borders, and then you choose the type of border that you need. So say if I say A, it will select all the borders. It will put borders for all the cells. So when using borders, there are a few things that you must keep in mind. Not that it is going to break anything, but you must not overdo it and not use borders excessively. Use borders only to structure the data. Use an outer border around the data set. You can also use inside borders, thin inside borders, but I think those are optional. If you feel you want to use them, go ahead and use them. So by putting outer data, you know where the data starts and where it ends. So to separate the headers from the data, I usually put a thick bottom border under the headers row. You have a thick bottom border here. After the headers, you can use borders to group sections. I think that looks better than bordering the individual cells. So let's say from here to here. So I put the border for this part, operating income part, and then you have the rest. Again, the point is there are no fixed rules here that you have to do this. These are best practices. Usually following these practices makes the data look cleaner. Adding borders everywhere increases clutter and gives it an unprofessional look. There are times when you may not need borders at all. If the data is simple, cleaner already, you don't need borders. So stop decorating Excel with borders. Not use borders excessively. It increases clutter and makes it hard to read. Use border only for structure.
Next we'll learn how to turn off grid lines in Excel.
Grid lines in Excel help organize data and make large worksheets manageable and readable. However, you can turn them off to reduce visual clutter, to remove distractions and to focus attention on specific data or charts, and to create more polished presentation ready appearance. There are multiple ways to do this. Now let's say you want to remove the grid lines from the entire sheet. Just go to the View tab and there you have this grid lines option. Just uncheck it. You see that the grid lines have disappeared. So let's say you want to remove the grid lines only for a specific section of the Excel. You can also do that. So let's say you want to do just this area. So select that area and go to font and choose the fill color as white. So you see that section is now without grid lines. I'll again remove the grid lines. Use this feature to format your data in a better way. It also looks cleaner when you want to insert things like shape or when you want to insert a graph here. Remember, grid lines are for working, borders are for presenting. This is your editable space, but as you work with more data, more formulas and graphs, the working space can feel cramped. So the easiest way to create more working space is to start hiding the top section, the ribbon bar and the formula bar. This is the formula bar. The formula bar is great, but you don't always need it. So you can create more working space by hiding the formula bar. Here's how to hide it. There are multiple ways to do this. The simplest method is to just go to View tab, and there under Show section you can see just uncheck it and the formula bar disappears. You can make it reappear by checking the formula bar. Another method to hide the formula bar is to go to the File tab, under Options go to Advanced. There you can see the Display section. There you can check or uncheck the Show formula bar. You can also use shortcuts to hide the formula bar. Just click on Alt, type W, it will go under View, and then you have VF for unchecking the formula bar. So you can hide the formula bar when you are entering data or presenting data. Hide it when you are presenting data. So keep it visible when you are writing or editing formulas.
Next, we'll see how to group rows in Excel. Now, when you're working with data, you can always hide rows if you want certain rows to be hidden. Say, for instance, I'll try to hide this. So when you hide, the rows are hidden, and you see a small marker here that shows that rows are hidden. Now, when you want to see those rows again, you have to find that marker and keep on double clicking till it shows all the rows, or you can just drag the marker to expand it until it shows all the rows. Now this can be really messy to find the marker, to locate the marker and then drag it. So better way is to group the rows so that it shows a clear plus and minus collapsible signs. Now the easiest way to group rows is to just go to the Data tab in the Outline section. Just go to Group, and under Group you'll find Auto Outline. Just click on Auto Outline, and you see it has automatically made groups. This is because I have put totals here for each of the city. So Excel knows the total is for which group, and accordingly it groups. So you can collapse all these groups and again expand. You see the 1 and 2 here. When you click on 2, it expands everything, all the groups together. When you click on 1, it collapses everything together. So that's a nice shortcut. I'll clear the outline. So under Data, I'll go to Ungroup this time, and I'll say Clear Outline. So it clears everything. I did this because I'm going to show you another way of grouping rows. So select the rows, go to Group, say Group, so it has grouped those rows. You can also select just few cells, and then when you choose the group option, this time Excel will ask you whether you want to group based on rows or columns, because it is not sure as you selected only a few cells. So it will ask whether you want to group on rows or columns. So I'll say group on rows. Okay, so it has grouped the rows. I'll quickly do it for other rows as well. You can directly click on the group as well. You don't have to go inside the group also, but by default when you click here it groups. So it has made the various groups. When I click on this icon, the number 1, it collapses everything. Click on 2, it expands everything. You can individually collapse or expand the groups. I can also make a big outer group. So I'll select all the rows. I'll say group. I'll say rows. So alternatively, I can select all the rows this way also and say group. So it has put a main outer group also. When I click on that, so I can collapse that, I can expand that. You have 1, click on 1, it collapses everything. Say plus, it expands everything, and then you can use 2 and 3 further to expand and collapse as you like. Ungrouping the rows is also easy. Just select the rows, under ungroup you can expand it and click on ungroup also, or you can directly click on ungroup. And finally the main outer one. So all the groups are removed now. There are no more groups. So this is how you group and ungroup rows in Excel. Next, we'll take a look at how to add currency symbols to numbers in Excel.
To add the currency symbol, I'll just select, you can select one number also. I'll select all the numbers. I'll say format cells, say currency, and then from here I can choose what currency symbol I need. By default it shows Indian rupee, so if I select that, it will show the rupee sign in front of the numbers. Now I can change it to something else. I can choose the dollar sign for United States, so I say okay. It shows me the dollar sign. So this is how you add the currency signs.
Here's something that you must remember when if you type the currency symbol, say before or after the number, let's say, it's very likely that the number is no longer a number but it becomes a text. That's why you see the number is now left aligned instead of being right aligned. So even though it looks like money, it acts like text. I'll copy it, and if I do a sum of these two numbers, it will not give you the correct answer because Excel now treats it as text. So typing symbols or moving the position of the symbol manually converts numbers into text. So instead, use the currency format.
You basically say format cell, come to currency and choose your desired currency sign.
Want to use custom symbol? Use the custom format covered in another video. Follow for more Excel beginner tips.
Now there's another way to insert currency sign. So if you go to insert tab, here you will see symbol. If you click on symbol, the right side from the subset, if I choose currency symbols, so it shows me a few more currency symbols. You can use the recently used symbols such as pound, euro and others. So you just select whatever you want and then you say insert. The pound symbol is inserted. So that is another way of doing it. But you should get most of the currency symbols from under the format cells option. So now instead of the dollar sign, what if you want the complete word dollar or say complete word rupee? How do you do that? So for that, again I'll select the numbers. I'll say format cells, and this time I'll go to custom, and in custom I will type what I want. So say assuming if I say need dollar, I'll say dollar hash, and then you say hash for the number. Okay, now it has changed to $100. So it will append the word dollar in front of the numbers. You can also change, now you can change the word to some other currency also. I'll go to format cells, say custom, instead of dollar I can say rupee. So it changes to rupee. So this is how you add currency symbols and the word for the currency to numbers in Excel.
Next, we'll take a look at alignment in Excel. So once you have the data, you can align the text within the cell in various ways. Under the Home tab, in the alignment section, you can see the various options. So you have left aligned, you have center aligned, and then you have right aligned. You see it makes the changes here. So all these three features are related to horizontal alignment. You can also align them vertically. By default it is bottom aligned. You see bottom aligned, but I can make it top aligned, or I can make it center aligned. So choose as per your requirement. So this is how alignment works in Excel. So that's all in this video. After watching this videos, you should be comfortable doing basic data formatting and hygiene to make the data more presentable and standardized. Thanks for watching the video.